Hey guys, Editing Jess here, and we're about to watch this vlog. But first, I wanted to remind you, if you haven't already, to go to www.rootsandrefuge.com and sign up for our newsletter. That is where we are going to be releasing new information, announcements, where you can keep up with when merch orders are open. It also just gives us an opportunity to connect directly with our viewers without having to go through another platform. So if you want to be the first for announcements and information, as well as exclusive offers, and to receive like the summary for the week on what's on the blog and the vlog so you don't miss anything, definitely go sign up for the newsletter. Rootsandrefuge.com, the link will be down below. And if you already have, thank you. Alright guys, let's watch this vlog. Y'all, look at the little find Michaela found for me at the thrift store. It's a birdhouse. How cute is this? This is very gratifying for my little dollhouse loving self. I've already got a couple of really cute birdhouses that I've like collected over the years, and I really love this one. But she works at the thrift store. She works for us and does our sticker company, but she also works at the thrift store. Jamie, what are you doing, man? He just pushed that door open. And anyway, whenever they get cool stuff in, sometimes she'll text me and be like, hey, this looks like you. Do you want it? I used to go thrifting all the time, and I really just don't have a lot of time for it anymore. So that's very sweet. What are you doing, Bear? So we had a pretty big development here this last couple of days. So I have an introduction to make. We're gonna come over here to the kids and show you our new livestock guardian puppy. Right. The boys are hanging out over here in the hammock square.
That's our new puppy!
Katie, are you getting some lovin's?
It's baby old Raph.
Baby Raph, that's right.
Okay.
Here is Raph. He's a half Anatolian and half Pyrenees, and we got him from our friend Wes. And he's actually a little young. Normally you would leave your puppy with her mom until they're like 10 to 12 weeks for a livestock guardian, but unfortunately it's just a really sad thing. But there was like a really tragic accident and the mama dog was killed. So that's obviously really sad, and we're really sad for our friends because that was a real loss for them. And so we went ahead and got him early. Now the benefit of that is that he is being extremely handled from this young age. He's only like 7 weeks old. He's being extremely handled from a young age by our boys and spending time around the animals. The downside is he's still kind of a baby, so whereas normally we would get a livestock guardian and immediately start keeping him like out with the animals, he's too much of a baby for that. So he has to be kept by himself where we can kind of like take care of him, but that's what'll be best for him, and he's gonna be a really good dog, I think. To walk over here.
Oh, we can walk. Come on, Raph.
Come on.
He's sniffing Bear's butt. Raph. Raph. This way. It's Bear. Raffy. Raffy. Raph. Meet the doggo. I think Raph is looking a bit tired.
You think he's tired? He probably is tired.
Sure,
he's a baby.
down. Yeah, we just took him on a walk.
Just let him lay. Why don't y'all lay in the hammocks and just let him rest for a little bit?
We are just doing that. So we're just gonna go somewhere else to snuff myself. This is like the best day ever.
Bear.
Petting a fresh new puppy.
Petting a fresh new puppy, huh? Oh, well, let him lay down. Let him rest. He's a baby. So, Raph, aka Raphael, it's a big name that he's gonna grow into, will be a guardian along with Gabe. So right now he's too little to be just like out in the field with the animals. We're taking him out there and like spending time around the animals, but I would not leave him out there. He's too small for that. But when he's larger, he'll stay out there with Gabriel. The reason being that there are coyotes around here, and largely what a livestock guardian does is they bark and they keep predators away from just barking and patrolling. So if you look outside at night, Gabriel doesn't sleep at night, he sleeps during the day, and he'll be just making rounds around the pasture. And this way, if like coyotes or anything, which we're surrounded by woods. If anything ever did come into the pastures after the animal and Gabriel had to engage with it, he wouldn't be alone. Very unlikely that that would happen in all the years that we've had farm animals and guardian dogs. We've never actually had our guardian dogs get in a fight. You hear about that a lot, but that's usually where people have very large amounts of land and these dogs are roaming like far away from the house. Our farm is small enough that that's probably not too much of a concern, but I've heard coyotes out there before, and shortly after we moved here I started kind of keeping my eye out for another guardian dog that Gabriel wouldn't have to be alone. The boys actually camped in a tent in the front yard the other day and they heard coyotes and were telling us about it. What do you think? You think he likes me? Mm-hmm. I think he likes me too. He was, today I had him out while I was milking and just kind of getting him used to being around, and he was following me the whole time wanting me to pick him up. He's pretty cute. You can pick him up. I'm gonna go show our friends on YouTube the greenhouse.
Oh, and we can bring that.
Oh, I was gonna tell you guys why we name our dogs, our guardian dogs, angel names. So we used to have a guardian dog named Chuck Norris. He was actually the same as Raph, half Anatolian and half Great Pyrenees. And Raph, I think, is going to end up looking a lot like Chuck Norris. He's the same. He was white. He had a patch over his eye. We had him in our early days of YouTube. Chuck Norris was incontainable. Like, we got what we asked for in naming that dog Chuck Norris. He could not be held. He chewed through a chain link fence. He broke through every kennel, crate, fence. He powered through electric fencing that made him evacuate his bowels and kept going. We actually ended up having a neighbor that lived down from our farm in Arkansas that started feeding him. And we went down and we're like, hey, this is our dog, you know, like we don't want you to feed him. Like we're trying to keep him home, and it's making it a lot harder to keep him home that somebody else is feeding him and giving him treats. And he kept going back down there, and eventually, like, because he was just causing mischief in the area, we finally told the people, if you're gonna insist on continuing to feed him, then we'll put your name on his collar and you can be responsible for what he's doing in the area. It was just a nightmare of a situation. We tried to keep Chuck Norris in the house and he literally tore a door off the hinges and ripped the carpet up. He would knock pots off of the stove and eat the boiling hot stuff. He was Chuck Norris. He lived up to his name. Every Chuck Norris joke you've ever heard, we were like, this is what we get. So now we name our guardian dogs after angels. Gabriel has always been a fantastic dog though. And honestly, people have asked me like, how did you train him? How did you do this? I think it was just, he was so socialized from when he was really small, and we spent so much time with him that while he is very protective of the animals and is happy staying out with them, we're very much part of his pack and his mind. And so I don't think he wants to roam.
Gabe and Raph.
And Raph.
Raphael. Let's go over to the greenhouse.
He's so cute. Are you a cutie dude?
Yes, I am.
All right, here is the greenhouse. So you can see we have some of the windows kind of laid out here. These jalousie windows are ones that Maya's dad had pulled off a job, and these are pretty cool windows. Like, they have the little shutters. They're called jalousie windows. We actually had those when we built our last window greenhouse in Arkansas, but we built that greenhouse about 2 months after we came out here to South Carolina, and we knew that we wanted to move in a few years, and so Maya saved those because he wanted to put them in our like long-term forever greenhouse at our forever home. So we have been collecting windows. I have a couple of unique windows, like the jalousie windows. I have the big stained glass window I got up in Ohio when I was visiting Matthew. I've got a few other different windows, and then we have a whole lot of these kind of square ones that we got at the Habitat for Humanity here in South Carolina. And I'm gonna go in the morning and pick up some I found on Facebook Marketplace that are like leaded glass, but they're the runner windows for like next to a door. They're like 9 inches wide and they're like 40 something inches, just to add some more interest. And this is where building a window greenhouse is kind of interesting. Hey Noah.
What's up?
And we've had a lot of people ask us about like a step-by-step tutorial in this greenhouse. And on our last window greenhouse, it was a simpler framing style. It was kind of like a shed roof style that's just like a flat roof that sits at an angle on a real simple rectangular building. And Jeremiah did a step-by-step on that greenhouse. This, however, is a little bit bigger, and this is a pitched roof that has a gable. And we decided we're not going to try to do a step-by-step on this because a lot of this stuff we're figuring out on our own. However, we are going to show how to frame in windows. The thing is, with doing any sort of step-by-step tutorial on this kind of thing, you're gonna have to have some framing experience. Like this is a building, like this is a framed building. And if you don't have framing experience, this is not like an entry-level project. However, you could do a simpler structure and frame in windows. So we are gonna show you guys how to do that part. And that's been what we've been figuring out today, because we essentially just have to take the windows we have, measure them, and do the math. Because when you're building something like this, you're not framing it around the windows. You're framing it, and then you're fitting the windows in and doing whatever it takes with like little plexiglass fillers, or you know, putting different boards in to make up the difference where things don't fit. Anytime you're using reclaimed materials, you're gonna have to get creative. So I've seen some photos like online, because I've looked up a lot of window greenhouses just kind of see what people are doing, and I've seen some photos where I don't see a lot of actual structural framing. I see a lot of windows, and I could be wrong looking at some of those pictures, but I would just be concerned about the longevity of this if you're not actually framing a structure and then fitting the windows into that. You have to have the correct supports in order for your building to be long-standing. This one is built pretty solid. We're going to be putting some more supports that go from one side to the other in here. And I've actually been looking at like double French doors for the front, and I found one and ordered it, but it's gonna not even be until the middle of March. So we're gonna have to do something temporary if we're gonna start seeds in that this year. That project's been a little bit of a big undertaking, and we've hit some delays, and it's taken longer than we had originally planned, but we're also trying to build it that it will last, and it's gonna be what we want long term rather than rush it just to get seeds started in there this season. Y'all, this pile of wood chips has been composting, and it smells real ripe. You might be a gardener if the smell of rotting wood chips makes you breathe in real deep and take another whiff. It makes you feel all warm and good inside. It's a little bit later in the evening. We're having some baseball practice out here.
Too strong.
Too strong.
Now let's see.
All right, let me see you.
Let's see.
Good job, Ben. Nice job.
It's like we're a baseball family.
I don't know, when did that happen?
Daddy!
Yesterday.
Daddy!
All of our boys are playing baseball this year, so that's been fun. I showed up for practice. I told Jeremiah, I was like, I was not prepared for the fact that this is like a whole lifestyle. Like, carried my ceramic mug. Everybody's wearing their baseball mom t-shirts, and I was like, oh man, I'm new here. Oh, I'm so excited for this space. Got my chair. Y'all, if you knew how much we were like flying by the seat of our pants on this garden belt, I'm like changing plans every day. And as far as I'm concerned, that's fine until things are actually built. But what I have conceptualized already is gonna be really beautiful, and I suspect it'll all come together in due time. It is very exciting. Actually, I haven't updated this for a little while. You know, the goats are like super pregnant. We're gonna start kidding in about a week. That's very exciting, and it's gonna be really awesome to have the barn for that. Check out the onions and garlic. They're doing very well. 2,000 square feet of delicious future meals. I was gonna show you guys the goats in this vlog, but they are all the way at the top of the pasture, and the sun is going down, and I have to cook. So next time. Here's a little sneak peek at something. has a fountain. I'm very excited about that. So we're having like a little false spring. It's gonna get cold again, but it sure isn't cold now. It was 80 degrees yesterday, 26 Celsius. That's really warm for February. And I know it's gonna be just extremely hot this summer, but right now, these warm days, I'm just outside all day, soaking in the sunshine and enjoying the fact that it feels like gardening time. So this update's a little brief, but I just wanted to give you guys a little glimpse at the day. Most exciting time of the year. We're building gardens and preparing to grow food. What else could we want? Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I bless you. Until next time.